Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blodger Show. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and I want to welcome you to this bonus episode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this bonus episode, and also, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Wanted to do... Give me a second here. I'm actually putting my phone up in the phone holder in my RAM, and wanted to drop in your guys' feed again, this week, to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Or if you just maybe you don't really celebrate the holiday, but just basically make some food. For me, it's kind of. I always look forward to good eating on Thanksgiving. We always do a turkey, and sometimes we do a ham. And sorry, just checking in really quick on an app on my phone because I'm literally here at the hub, getting ready to head home. But basically, Wednesday night into Tuesday night into Wednesday technically is my first day of the week. It didn't start out so well. My boss initially said come be in by 9:15, and then literally on my way into the hub to go check it in to go basically get into the work truck, and he texts me, he's like, "Oh, I'll be to Lebanon by midnight." I'm like, "Oh." I was like, "So should I turn around and go home? Because I'm already on my way in." He goes, "No, if you want to come in, just go ahead and fuel the truck up, and just do a thorough, like, look through your truck and make sure everything's good, And I'm like, everything's fine. Like, I don't have to look through it, I was like, do you check the oil and dump the tires and whatnot, But it's not like I don't have to do a massive. Oh, I'm gonna do a big inspection, make sure there's no problems. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure the truck's fine, That's one of the things when you're the one driving it all the time, you kind of know when if there's some issues that you need to get taken care of or whatever, like it would be running rough, or you see like leaks going on or something, or here like air leaks, or you'd see fluid on the ground or something, you'd see obvious signs. And so as long as your fluid levels are good and you're not seeing anything leak on the ground, not hearing any air leaks, whatever, all the tires look good, it's like usually you're in good shape. But so I was like, well, maybe I'll detour and grab some food and some caffeine on my way in. I'll get it by like 10 o'clock or so, and it'll take me 30 or 40 minutes to set up a set of empties to head over to Lebanon. And so literally that's what I did. I came in about 10:45ish. I didn't have anything assigned, but I had a set of empties already set up. I was ready to go. I had to basically call Lebanon and kind of let me like, hey, can you guys like dispatch me with this empty set, you know, because I'm supposed to be over there. Oh, are you on our yard already? Like, no, I'm not. I'm over here in Nashville, but I was told to be over to you guys at midnight. I'm already hooked up. I've already got a set of empties. I just need to have you guys go ahead and dispatch me so I can take off. So, all right, cool. So I got over there by 11:45, thinking, okay, midnight, you know, maybe 12:30. And of course, I got over there and she was like, yeah, if you get over here and there's no load sign, then go ahead and give us a call, you know, and we'll get you set up. I'm like, all right. I get over there and I call her roughly about 12 o'clock. And she said, oh, yeah, so we're out on the dock right now, but yeah, just give us like 15, 20 minutes, and, you know, we'll see what we have for you. I'm like, all right. So 12:20. I call back, oh, yeah, we're still working on it. You know, the load should be on you in the next 15 minutes. Okay. So 12:35 rolls around or whatever, and I refresh, and it shows, okay, cool. I've got a trailer going to Cookeville and a trailer going to Kodak. Awesome. One of them, you know, of course, the rear one, that one was done, so I was able to go bring my dolly and set the dolly up in front of that rear trailer. And then I was trying to hunt I guess actually the front trailer was done. The rear trailer, because since they load the front one first, and then whatever they can't fit on that, then they start with the second trailer. Or, I mean, that's if they're both going to the same location, but in this case, they load the front trailer, which usually is heavier, and then they load the back one. So the front one was good. The back one was still on the dock to be loaded, so I put the dolly in front of that rear trailer, got it basically ready to go, and then I was trying to hunt down the front trailer. That took me a few minutes because where the location on it said it wasn't there. So I'm driving around the lot going, all right, where the hell is this trailer? You know, like, and then I happened to see one of the switchers driving up with the trailer, and I recognized the number. Like, oh, cool, there it is, you know. Waited for him to drop it. I hooked up to it. I went around and parked it, backed in front of the trailer and the dolly that was already waiting at the dock. Went back there, hooked the dolly up to the back of the front trailer, and then basically was just a hurry up and wait game. Because I went back to the truck and I'm watching the dock light in the mirror, which basically at that point was red because they're loading it. Once it goes green, that means they close it off and the dock door is closed. Basically, you can hook up and go. So I'm sitting there waiting. Everybody else that was there picking up loads hooked up to their trailers and took off. I was basically just kind of the only one in the dock door, just kind of sitting there waiting. 1:10, 1:15 rolls around, and I call them again. Hey, that Kodak trailer you guys still have in the dock, like, do you have an ETA on that, like, when that's going to be ready to go? Oh, yeah, let me call over there, find out what's going on. Okay, cool, you know. So, still another 20 or so minutes. It's probably like 1:35, 1:40. Probably 1:35 or around there when the light finally went green. I was like, all right, cool. So I went ahead and I backed up to where the dolly would go under the rear trailer and hook up to it. Then pull it forward out of the dock and then go back there to hook everything up. So I probably got out of there at like 1:45 in the morning. Now, granted, you know, Kodak is about 200 miles away, so it's like, well, actually, I guess from Lebanon, it's not quite that far, but still it's not a terrible drive, but not a short drive. But then I have to also go to another hub, so I'm dropping one trailer, and then picking up an empty, and then taking the other loaded trailer plus the empty to the final stop, and then I grab another empty, set up both empties, and take off back to Nashville. So I got part way there. I was probably like 80 miles away from Kodak because it was, so one, getting started really late kind of threw me off. And I was already tired because I'd started so late. You know? So even though I'm used to working all night, but still, you know, it's like I'd kind of been up since like 2. So I got probably to where it was like 80 miles away from Kodak, thinking that was my first stop because I didn't look at the destination. I just looked at the fact that the rear trailer, usually your first stop is your rear trailer. You drop that one, you grab it empty, you take off, but every so often they'll dispatch you with the front trailer being the, you know, obviously the heavier one, and that front trailer is your first stop. So then you have to do a whole process. You gotta basically, like, you know, you drop the rear trailer, and then basically what I'll do is I'll circle around with that other trailer in the dolly, and I'll pull it in as close as I can behind what's now going to be my front trailer. I'll go back there and I'll disconnect the dolly and set it down, and I'll pull away with that trailer, and I'll drop that in one of the spaces, so that way, you know, it's delivered. They're ready to, you know, basically grab it and put it in a door and unload it. And then I'll go find an empty, and I'll pull that, the same deal, I'll pull that empty as close as I can to the dolly. And, sorry, I just saw that I had a message pop up on my phone. I was like, oh, yeah, do it. But, pull that trailer as close as I can to the dolly, and then drop it, pull away, you know, disconnect it from the truck. And then, you know, walk back there and literally, like, lift the front part of the dolly up and manhandle it, basically walk it back to the trailer, set it up right in front of that trailer where it's gonna go. I set up, there's a little knob that you can pull out to set the brake on the dolly, so that way, literally, it will not move, you know. So that way, what I do is when I hook up to the front trailer, I'll back that trailer very, very slowly up towards the dolly. And I'm talking like less than like 1 mile an hour or less, to the point where I'll know when I'm at the dolly, because all of a sudden, like, I'll press against it and I'll feel the resistance, because I won't be able to back up any further. Versus like some guys back up some drivers back up a little bit too fast, and literally you hear them kind of hit it like you know, hitting metal, like scraping metal. I go back slow, so I don't really damage anything or not really hitting anything. I'm literally just backing up till I feel that resistance, or I start to hear me touching, you know, my metal bumper on the trailer touching the metal of the dolly. And I'm like, okay, cool. So that you pull forward another couple inches or whatever, so that way all you have to do is go back, you release the brake on the dolly, you lift up that front, pull it forward a little bit, and clunk, connect it to the trailer. But so, you know, apologies, had a little bit of a brain fart. I'm like, where was I going with that now? So, but oh, okay. So I got within 80 miles of that stop, which technically, because the way it looked, what I thought was I was gonna have to go to Kodak first, which is the 200-mile trip, and then backtrack towards Lebanon, Nashville, whatever, and hit Cookville on the way back. That's what I thought, because the rear trailer was Kodak. But when I was 80 miles from Kodak, I was noticing that, like, I was extremely tired. Like, I'm talking, like, to the point where you're kind of drifting, like, you're zoning out. You feel like you're kind of drifting a little bit in the lane. I'm like, yeah, I'm struggling. I don't know if I can make it all the way there. And I'd gotten a vanilla latte, like an iced vanilla latte from Quick Trip, but I'm thinking those are mostly milk, because I was sipping on that and I wasn't feeling like it was helping me at all. I was tired. So I was like, screw it, I'm desperate. And I, like, anybody that knows me at home knows that I really don't take naps, like, at all. Like, if I take a nap, then obviously I'm desperately tired. Like, I'm at that level where I'm like gonna collapse or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go lay down for like 2 or 3 hours, and then, you know. So I pulled off on right before an exit on a very wide shoulder, my flashers on, climbed in the back of the bunk, set my phone alarm for like 20 minutes, literally took off my big old reflective hoodie and balled it up into a big ball as a pillow, kind of, and I laid there, laid down and closed my eyes for 20 minutes. I don't really think I slept, because that's a very short amount of time, but I did feel like I kind of had some kind of hard to describe. I kind of zoned out while, you know, laying there with my eyes closed, trying to at least catch like 1 or 2 Z's for like 20 minutes. So I have a feeling that I did kind of like rest like it. But I did notice a difference when I, you know, close to my alarm, when I sat back up and decided to go ahead and get back in the driver's seat and keep going. I was like, okay, that actually worked. I'm actually a little bit more alert right now. And at that point, my phone went off, and it was, you know, the Cookville terminal. He was like, hey, yeah, it's Mr. Blodgett. Yeah. He's like, oh, so I see you have a trailer for us, but I see that you passed us. Are they sending you to Kodak first? I said, yeah, I believe so. My rear trailer is Kodak, so I'm, you know, as far as I'm understanding, they are sending me there, and then, you know, then I'm hitting you guys on the way back. So, okay, yeah, as long as you get back here by like 6, then, you know, we should be good. All right, cool, yeah, shouldn't be a problem. So I'm like 80 miles from Kodak. But then, so I got off the phone with him, and I literally, I got back on the road, and I thought about it. I was like, I better check. So I pulled off and parked again. And I loaded up, I brought up the load assignment, you know, on the app or whatever, and of course I immediately see trip destination Cookville. But, oh, crap. So at this point, I'm already 35 miles at least past it. Almost 40. It's probably like 37, 38 miles past it. And I was supposed to go there first and drop the front trailer and then reposition the dolly behind it and go through all that. And so I had to think for a second. I was like, do I call FedEx and have them switch it? Like, switch the trailers around, switch the load to, you know, me go into Kodak first, or do I turn around and go back? Like, either way, it's not really a good option. But I didn't want to call FedEx and admit that technically I fucked up. You know, I screwed up. So I called Cookville back and basically told them, hey, so apparently, funny story. Hey, what's going on? Well, funny story. Being that they got me loaded so late, and the rear trailer was Kodak, I didn't quite notice that the destination for my first stop was you guys. Oh, okay. Well, what are you gonna do? I said, well, honestly, I was like, I don't want to be really late for you, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn around and come back so I can drop your trailer off first. He goes, oh, I really appreciate that. I'm like, no worries. You know, I was like, it just seems like that would be the better option versus like going to Kodak and trying to get them straight, like switch everything around. At least if I come to you guys, I could go ahead and dispatch myself straight from you guys straight to Kodak and continue on the trip. So I was like, I'm turning around now. I'll be back there in probably about 40 minutes. He goes, all right, cool. See you then. So I went all the way back to Cookville and did what I had to do. But I thought, and then of course, like, I got dispatched. I probably made it like halfway to Kodak after doing the Cookville. And I start that little bit of the second wind I had from that little power nap started to fade, so I was like struggling again. But I made it. I didn't have to pull over again. I made it there, and the wife was texting me whatever, that she was in pain and stuff, dealing with, you know, not really feeling great at work. And I said, yeah, I know how that is. I said, I barely made it here to Kodak. Told her I was like, I had to pull off, take a 20-minute power nap because I was struggling so bad. She goes, yeah, you did. Grab some caffeine or grab an energy drink or something so you can get home safe. And I'm like, I'm gonna grab something because I don't know if I have the energy to make it back currently how I feel. So, you know, I made it back. It was probably like, hell, I probably got to sleep at like 12:30. Because I got home, I heated up food, I went upstairs and took a shower really quick, and then laid down about 12:30, 12:40. And actually, it's probably after that. It was probably like 1 something. A little bit after 1. Set my alarm for like 7:45. So I got 6 hours and a little bit over. So I got up just before 8 and got a text from my boss, basically be like, yeah, go ahead, like, meet at Nash between 10 and 10:30. You're probably doing the same as last night. So I'm like, oh, okay, so go into Lebanon and probably get loaded at midnight at 1 o'clock. He's like, yep, all right, cool, you know. But, you know, funny. I mean, I thought about it, about the fact that like I can't remember the last time I had to pull over and actually go lay down because I was like struggling to stay awake. I know it's happened. I know that you know, one of the times I really remember was I was trying to get home actually. I was like an hour and a half outside of Nashville, coming from Kentucky on 24, and I remember getting to a point where I was like, all right, I'm you know, zoning out. I'm hitting the ridges on the side of the road. Found a big shoulder, pulled off, went back, set my alarm. I think I set my alarm for like 45 minutes or an hour. Curled up, you know, threw on my CPAP mask, got under the covers, and basically fell asleep pretty quick. Next thing I realized, I don't remember my alarm going off, and it's like 3.5 hours later. Because when I parked, it was like 1 a.m. and all of a sudden it was like almost 5. And I'm like, ah, crap, man. Got up, hit the road, went the hour and a half to the customer, dropped it, dropped off the truck and trailer, got in my car, and was heading for home. I was like, well, I would have been home a couple hours ago, but I kind of fell asleep while working and didn't wake up on time. So, but that's one of those things too often, especially in how it is, fellow drivers out there. Like, I see. Like, I'll be passing other trucks, and that truck will be drifting back and forth between in the lane, like drift to the left, drift to the right, drift back to the left again. And all I'm thinking to myself, like if I were to say anything to that driver, is, okay, driver, pull over and take a break, like pull over and take a nap, because otherwise the alternative is you end up off the road in a ditch with the truck roll over, and it's like not a good scenario. So, let's bear with me real quick. I'm trying to see if I can pull this off, because need to get gas there really quick. So let me see before I go home. I'm right next to the apartment complex. I'm like gonna put. I'm trying to wait till I get paid tonight, so I'm putting just a little bit of gas in. Because right now, it's on the red line, it says 22 miles till empty. So, and I'm gonna try to keep, you know, doing this recording while I'm doing that or whatever. So one sec here. Alrighty, let's see here. So, you know how it is, guys, out here doing what we gotta do. Put in your pin. It's a call to raising. Enter your mobile number to save on fuel. You saved 5 cents. Awesome. Alright. That's funny thing is I'm only putting like a couple gallons in. Not even, you know, just enough to get me through tonight. Good old evening of Turkey Day. So, like I said, the purpose for this episode was to come on here, drop in your guys' feed again, and you know, give me some more content, and wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, filling up my truck is really weird. It's for whatever reason, I'll barely start the gas and it'll click off, even though I'm like, you're empty. I know it's not full, but for whatever reason, it'll click like it's full, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that, man, you know. But with the way tonight went, I came in. Let's see. trying to click it all the way to 10-1. Yeah, I failed. But that'll be fine. It'll give me to working back tonight, and then I can put in more gas tonight and stuff. Do you want a receipt? Nope, not really. So when I came in tonight, my boss basically was like, "Oh, because I assumed I was going to Lebanon." He's like, "No, actually, I'm trying to find out what you're gonna do. So just hang out. Like, go ahead and get the truck and hang out in the yard." I'm like, "Okay, that's interesting, but I'll do it." And then he was like, "Oh, and by the way, we are paying standby pay." I said, "Oh, like if we don't run or whatever?" And he goes, "No, in addition to." I'm like, "Oh, cool, all right." So he goes, "So go on the website, on the portal for your your paid like there's like a paycheck portal. They go on the portal and go ahead and clock in. Which normally we don't clock in, we just get to the truck and we log on the electronic logs." So I was like, "All right, I'll clock in, Hey, but if it means I get paid extra on top of what I'm currently doing, then hey, I'll do it." So I clock in and I sit there and wait, and he's, "All right, go ahead and clock or check in on the app again." I was like, "All right." He goes, "Yeah, you should be going to Cookville for doing that run for Nash, which is only like 85 miles each direction, so we're talking like 160, And I was like, "All right, am I just doing that one run, or did they say about anything else?" And he's like, "Well, right now just the one, but I'm gonna have you do something out of Lebanon too." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I got everything set up and I took off and got out there to Cookville, and then they don't have any available pump trailers. They have like every one of them with glad hand locks on them. So I had to call Lebanon and be like, "I can't grab any empty pups. Is it okay if I bring a 53? He's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Cool. All right." I get partway home and get partway to Lebanon, and first my boss calls me and asks me, like, "Hey, how far away from Lebanon are you?" I'm like, "About 45 minutes. All right, cool. Copy that." I'm like, he's like, "I'm here right now, and I was like, "Do you know what they're gonna have me do?" "Probably Evansville." Okay. So I get off the phone with him. Another 10 minutes later, Lebanon calls me back. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" They're like, "Hey, actually, we're gonna reroute you straight back to Nashville because we actually don't need you tonight. Our sorter is down, and we don't have any extra trailers. Because of that, we don't have the extra trailers, so we actually don't need you tonight." I'm like, "Okay. Well, then I guess I'm heading back to Nashville." So I called my boss and said, "Yeah, they're sending me to Nashville. They said they don't actually have the extra loads, and so they don't need me." He goes, "Well, I'll call them. Let me give him a call real quick." Okay. I never heard shit back from him, so I basically just continued on to Nashville. I parked there. I don't know, fellow drivers, or hell, just anybody in general. Do you ever have those moments where laziness kicks in, or like technically you're at work and it's time to head home, but yeah, for whatever reason you're just like sitting in your vehicle or sitting in your work chair and you're like, "Okay, I really need to get going," but you're scrolling Facebook and just killing time because you just like, "I don't feel like moving." Well, that's me a lot of times. I'm just like, "Yeah, really need to get home, really need to get going." So after killing time for about 20 minutes, I went over and fueled the truck up, and then parked it, grabbed the Ram, and that's when I literally started, recording this episode for you guys. But I know technically I didn't make a lot of money tonight, and I know in the past I would be like, "Oh man, this sucks. I came in for this. What the heck?" I'm like, you know what? If I come in and do a lot of work, great. If I come in and do a little bit of work, still fine. I was like, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm at least working, that I have a job, and obviously like my boss, who's the manager or whatever, when I came on with this company, I actually thought he was the contractor that I was working for, but I guess he's not. He's one of the employees too, but he's the one that manages the drivers, for this area down here. And I didn't know that at first. I thought it was, he was the big boss man, but he's the boss as far as the manager goes. But he's the one I deal with, with as far as like running loads, or if I have issues, I can call him, and he'll reach up the chain and talk to whoever. But so yeah, I figure lately it's like if I come in and I end up not doing much, and they say, we don't have anything else for it. All right, cool. I just say, cool, I'm head home then. And yeah, sometimes the paycheck might be down a little bit. And I'm like, is what it is. That's why I'm doing everything I'm doing on the side, such as continuing to grow this podcast, continuing to work on the writing stuff, work on the not just the novel, but also the volumes of the Blodgett Show Storytime Friday stories. So, and the next step is obviously, because I've got one of those completed, just got to get it edited, formatted, and published, and got to get the actual novel, get that one, finish that up, because that was like 2/3 of the way done. But there's things planned, and obviously, like, I know that I'm just doing what I do right now, dealing with the stress and the tension and whatever else I deal with because of job-related stuff and income-related stuff. I know it's not gonna last. It's not permanent. It's like, as I always say, guys, we gotta believe we can, and we gotta believe we will, and we're already halfway there, and then we just have to go out there and do it. And I've known too many people in my life that literally all they did was complain about life, like, oh man, this sucks, nothing's ever gonna get better, man, life is horrible. I'd be like, why don't you go try to find something you can do online, some maybe a part-time job, just bring in a little bit here. And they're like, no, I can't work because I have too much anxiety or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, you're choosing to not try to make it better. Like, you're just sitting around accepting things for how they are, but you're not happy with it, obviously. So if we're not happy with where we are, go somewhere else. If you're not happy with what you're doing, do something else. If you're not happy with how much you're making, then go out there and figure out how to make more. For me, my dream is because of how the trucking life for me, even though it's great money, don't get me wrong, like, it's not, I support the fam, pay the bills, keep us fed, got my RAM literally within a month, I'll have it paid off, so that's pretty awesome. But it's been like the last 4 years, and then be working on the wife's car, and be working on getting us into a house, getting my wife her food truck. There's goals I'm taking us towards, and I know that we have to actually make it happen. Nobody's gonna do it for us. So you can't sit around and if other people are successful, get mad at them because they're successful and you're not. We're all in control of our lives. Some of us, obviously, we might not have the financial resources to really make those changes happen as quickly as others might. Like, others might have money and they can invest and, do what they gotta do and get there quicker. Whereas, if those of us that are living paycheck to paycheck and we only have a little bit we can invest here, here and there. And so people that have those programs where they're really successful, but, and you can join them and follow their teachings or whatever, help them guide you, but, they get upset with you because they're like, well, when are you gonna, when are you ready to join yet? Are you ready to invest? It's like, well, no, not yet. I can't justify dropping X amount of dollars into such and such to be able to start doing what you're doing, to try to start bringing in money on the side, because I have to make sure these these main bills are paid, that, you know, the family's fed, stuff like that, because, you know, I'd rather know that I have the electricity paid and the rent paid, but know that there's food for the family, than to basically, yeah, okay, I invested in this, you know, such and such, and now we're broke, and we also don't, you know, we're broke until I can start bringing that money in, and also we don't have food, and oh crap, the power got shut off, you know, so I have to prioritize what I'm doing, and so whenever I have the extra, you know, it's like whenever you have that extra little bit you can work with, then you turn around and say, all right, how can I turn that into another stream of income or a little bit of a side hustle, you know, but, so, on that note, guys, basically, I guess the real point is to, you know, one, we got to be grateful for everything we have in life, because, you know, tomorrow isn't promised. We never know what's gonna happen. Three, or rather, two. So one, be grateful. You know, appreciate everything you have, people that you have in your life. One day the people are here, the next day they're not. I look at photos of relatives and stuff, and like my father-in-law who's no longer with us. And I remember times when I'd hang out with him or be on the phone with him, and it's like, you know, hell, my own grandparents, you know, I look at photos of them and I'm like, yeah, I wish they were still around, because, you know, there's so much that I would have loved to talk to them about, would love for them to actually see their great grandkid, you know, my grandkid that's my parents' great grandkid, my grandparents' great grandkid. Man, that's a tongue twister. But they've been gone for the past at least like 15 years, I think, 12, 15 years. You know, it happens. That's just how life is. So we gotta go after what we want and figure out, like, even if you don't know what to do to make it happen, we gotta go out there and we gotta make it our mission to make it happen. So basically, the big point today, which I'm sorry I kind of rambled for a bit, you know, but happy Turkey Day, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's having some great food. I know for us, we're having turkey and ham, and then we have a dish that's like a Belanger family staple called broccoli fluff, kind of like a broccoli casserole, like broccoli and cheese. My wife makes it. I have no idea everything that goes into it, but the kids love it. It's basically one of the famous staples. We do a dish called bacon stuffing, which it literally is homemade stuffing loaded up with bacon. It's amazing. I mentioned bacon stuffing to my buddy Dave, that author and fellow trucker friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Yep." So anyway, guys, but yeah, you know, feel free to drop me a line, blogshowpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what you guys have for your Thanksgiving meal, and be safe. I know I'll be working. I was actually told that we're actually running business as usual on Thanksgiving and Christmas, so I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, the way tonight went, I mean, maybe for Thanksgiving night, maybe I won't run too much either, which I won't complain. That's another thing, guys. It's like, I figure I could complain about not running too much and not getting many miles, but I could also say, hey, but at least I came in and I ran something. I didn't sit at home and not do anything and just do nothing. So that's basically, I figured, looking at the bright side, looking at the positive, you know. But on that note, guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Oh, one last thing is I did want to do a shout out to you guys, because when I look at the stats in my host platform where I host the podcast, you know, when I upload my episodes or whatever, then it uploads to iHeart, Spotify, and Apple, and all that other stuff. It doesn't show me specific states, but it does show me countries where I've had downloads at and stuff. So like, it showed with the Real Talk episode that posted Tuesday, I've already got like 5 downloads, and it's like 3 of them were from the United States. One of them is from Germany, and I had one from India. I was like, India? I was like, oh, that's new. I don't think I've seen India before. But everybody that's tuned in so far, and if you're a regular listener, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me every week, for all the bonus episodes and the Real Talk Tuesday episodes. And eventually I will get back on track with the Storytime Friday episodes. Mainly it's just a matter of finding the time and the energy to actually be able to sit down and go, you know what, I'm going to get a story written, and then voila, we have a story for Storytime Friday. So, but if you're new, if you're somebody new that's just recently come upon my podcast, again, I appreciate you for tuning in. Feel free, if you liked what you heard, feel free to hit that follow button. Tell your friends, anybody that's willing to actually support the show financially, feel free to go to budgetshow.com/support. And, or again, don't even have to support financially, just tell your friends, and, through all of us together, we can help. Every little bit helps the podcast grow. And again, I appreciate everything you guys do, appreciate all your support, appreciate you guys being here and tuning in with me. So, on that note, love y'all. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Believe me, people have tried. I appreciate you. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys have a great meal and a safe holiday, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Have a good one.